84. Fan Pang's imprisonment and the Second Partisan Prohibitions Incident. When Emperor Ling of Han first ascended the throne, Empress Dowager Dou took control of the government, appointing her father, Dou Wu, as Grand General, and Chen Fan as Grand Commandant. Both Dou Wu and Chen Fan supported the faction of Confucian scholars and virtuous officials who had been persecuted by the eunuchs. One of their first acts was to lift the lifelong political ban on the partisans and restore figures like Li Ying and Du Mi to government positions. Seeing this as an opportunity for reform, Chen Fan told Dou Wu, "If we do not eliminate the eunuchs, peace will never come to the empire. I am nearly 80 years old. What personal ambition could I still have? I remain in office solely to rid the court of corruption and assist you in restoring order." Dou Wu agreed, and the two secretly proposed to Empress Dowager Dou that the eunuchs be eradicated. However, like Emperor Huan before her, Empress Dowager Dou trusted the eunuchs and refused to take action. In frustration, Chen Fan formally submitted a memorial, listing the crimes of the powerful eunuchs Hu Lan, Cao Jie, and Wang Fu. Empress Dowager Dou ignored the memorial, leaving it unanswered. However, this alerted the eunuchs to the threat against them. The coup of the eunuchs. Fearing for their survival, Cao Jie and Wang Fu struck first. They seized the imperial seal and the government's official authority from Empress Dowager Dou. They placed her under house arrest. They accused Dou Wu and Chen Fan of treason, executing both men. With this coup, the eunuchs regained full control of the court. They immediately dismissed and persecuted all officials who had been reinstated under Dou Wu and Chen Fan. Li Ying and Du Mi were stripped of their positions and exiled. The Imperial Academy students and scholars who had supported them became primary targets of repression. The Second Partisan Prohibitions Incident begins. One of the most vocal critics of the eunuchs was the scholar Zhong Jian, who had once exposed the corruption of the eunuch Hu Lan. In retaliation, Hu Lan found a dismissed servant of Zhong Jian and used him as a false witness. The servant accused Zhong Jian of conspiring with 24 others to slander the government and plot rebellion. The eunuch Cao Jie used this fabricated accusation to urge Emperor Ling to issue a new order for the mass arrest of partisans. At only 14 years old, Emperor Ling was too young to understand the situation. He asked Cao Jie, "Why are we punishing these people? What have they done wrong?" Cao Jie, waving his hands and gesturing theatrically, fabricated a story, claiming, "The partisans are dangerous conspirators. They seek to overthrow your majesty and plunge the empire into chaos." The young emperor, frightened, issued the order for mass arrests. The persecution of the partisans. With the decree issued, chaos erupted across the empire as officials hunted down scholars, students, and reform-minded officials. The execution of Li Ying and Du Mi. When Li Ying was warned of the imminent purge, he remained calm, saying, "If I flee, I will only bring more harm to others. Besides, I am already 60. I have lived long enough. What is there to fear?" He walked into prison himself, where he was tortured to death. Similarly, Du Mi, knowing that escape was impossible, committed suicide before he could be arrested. The arrest of Fan Pang. In Runan Commandery, an imperial official was sent to arrest Fan Pang. However, upon reaching Zhangqiang, the official locked himself in his room and wept bitterly. Hearing the sobs, bystanders wondered what had happened. When the news reached Fan Pang, he remarked, "He must be crying because he does not want to arrest me." Rather than hiding or fleeing, Fan Pang voluntarily turned himself in at the county office. The county magistrate, Gui Yi, was shocked to see Fan Pang surrendering. He pleaded, "The empire is vast. You could go anywhere, why did you come here?" He even offered to resign and escape together with Fan Pang. Fan Pang, deeply moved, refused. "If I die, perhaps this madness will finally end. I cannot drag you down with me. Besides, my mother is old. If I flee, they will punish her in my place." Seeing that Fan Pang had made up his mind, Gui had no choice but to imprison him, though he allowed him to see his mother and son one last time. When Fan Pang's mother arrived, he reassured her, "After I die, my younger brother will take care of you. Please do not grieve too much." His mother, unshaken, replied, If you can leave behind a legacy like Li Ying and Du Mi, I will be proud of you. I am not afraid of loss." Hearing this, Fan Pang fell to his knees in respect. Turning to his son, he sighed. "If I taught you to do evil, I would be leading you astray. But if I taught you to do good, I fear you would suffer the same fate as me." Upon hearing these words, even the jailers and bystanders wept uncontrollably. The aftermath of the second partisan prohibitions. Over 100 prominent scholars and officials were executed. Over 600 intellectuals and officials were arrested, exiled, or banned from office. The entire bureaucracy became dominated by eunuchs and their supporters, further deepening corruption. One individual, however, managed to evade capture: Zhong Jian, the original target of the eunuchs' accusations. The escape of Zhong Jian. Zhong Jian went into hiding, moving from place to place. Many citizens risked their lives to shelter him. Whenever authorities discovered his whereabouts, he would escape just in time. Because of this, the eunuchs began persecuting anyone suspected of helping Zhong Jian. Light punishments included imprisonment. Harsh punishments included execution. Entire counties were punished for harboring him. Despite this, Zhong Jian remained at large, proving that many people still resisted the corruption of the eunuchs. The lasting consequences. After the two partisan prohibitions incidents, the eunuchs completely dominated the government. Honest officials had been purged. Corrupt eunuchs filled all ranks of government. Public outrage against the government intensified, sowing the seeds of future rebellion. Within a few years, the Han dynasty would face its greatest crisis: the Yellow Turban Rebellion, a peasant uprising fueled by anger at the corrupt government. The Han Empire, once mighty and prosperous, was now crumbling from within, all because corrupt factions, both the eunuchs and external relatives, had destroyed any hope of reform. 85. The Yellow Turban Rebellion. The incompetent and decadent Emperor Ling of Han trusted eunuchs and indulged in a life of luxury. When the imperial treasury ran low on funds, he and his corrupt court devised a scheme to extort money. They opened a special establishment in the Western Garden, where officials and noble titles could be openly bought. Outside Hongju Gate, they posted a price list for official positions. Purchasing a governor's seat cost 20 million coins, while a county magistrate position cost 4 million. Those who could not afford to pay upfront were allowed to take the position on credit, with the expectation that they would repay double after taking office. These officials, having bought their way into power, inevitably sought to recover their expenses through ruthless exploitation of the people. The Eastern Han dynasty had reached the pinnacle of corruption and decay. With a corrupt court, the oppression of landlords and powerful elites, and a series of natural disasters, the common people found life unbearable and had no choice but to rise in rebellion. The first uprisings began in Wu Commandery, where peasants attacked county seats and killed government officials. In Kuaiji, a man named Xu Sheng raised an army in Gojiang, modern-day Cixi, Zhejiang, gathering more than 10,000 followers within days. Emperor Ling ordered the inspector of Yangju and the governor of Danyang to send troops to suppress the uprising, but they were defeated by the rebel forces. Xu Sheng's influence continued to grow, and he even proclaimed himself the Yang Ming Emperor. In 174 AD, Sima of Wu Commandery recruited soldiers and, together with regional government troops, defeated Xu Sheng's forces. Although the uprising in Wu Commandery was crushed, an even larger rebellion was brewing. In Julu Commandery, three brothers, Zhong Jiao, Zhong Bao, and Zhong Liang, gained widespread support from the people. Zhong Jiao, the eldest, was skilled in medicine and treated the poor without charging fees, earning their trust and admiration. Understanding the suffering of peasants under the tyranny of landlords and natural disasters, Zhong Jiao envisioned a peaceful world where people could live free from oppression. To achieve this, he used religion to organize the masses, founding a sect called the Way of Peace. He recruited disciples and began preaching across the land. The Way of Peace grew rapidly, with Zhong Jiao dispatching his brothers Zhong Bao and Zhong Liang, along with other disciples, to travel across different regions, healing the sick and spreading their doctrine. Over a span of 10 years, the sect had spread nationwide, and nearly everyone, believers or not, knew of its existence. The number of followers swelled to hundreds of thousands. At the time, local officials merely regarded the Way of Peace as a religious group that promoted benevolence and healing, paying little attention to its true influence. However, a few ministers at the imperial court sensed its potential danger and advised Emperor Ling to ban the sect. Preoccupied with constructing his extravagant gardens, the emperor ignored their warnings. Meanwhile, Zhong Jiao had secretly organized hundreds of thousands of peasants across 8 provinces into 36 military divisions. Large divisions consisted of over 10,000 men, while smaller ones had 6,000 to 7,000. Each division had a leader, all under Zhong Jiao's command. A secret plan was set in motion. On the 5th day of the 3rd month of the Jiazi year, 184 AD, simultaneous uprisings would erupt in the capital and across the empire under the slogan, "The blue heaven shall perish, the yellow heaven shall rise. The year is Jiazi, and the world shall be in great fortune." In this slogan, blue heaven symbolized the Han dynasty, while yellow heaven referred to the way of peace. To spread the message, rebel agents secretly marked temples in Luoyang and government buildings across the provinces with the characters Jiazi in white powder, serving as signals for the rebellion. However, just over a month before the planned uprising, a traitor within the rebel ranks leaked the plan to the imperial authorities. The Han court launched an immediate crackdown in Luoyang, arresting and executing over 1,000 suspected rebels. Ma Yune, a key rebel coordinator in Luoyang, was captured and killed. With the situation rapidly deteriorating, Zhong Jiao made a decisive move. He ordered the rebellion to begin 1 month ahead of schedule. Declaring himself General of Heavenly Justice, he appointed Zhong Bao as General of Earthly Justice and Zhong Liang as General of Human Justice. Following his orders, the 36 divisions launched their rebellion simultaneously. The rebels, who wrapped their heads in yellow cloth as a symbol of their movement, became known as the Yellow Turban Army. The rebellion spread like wildfire. The insurgents stormed government offices, set fire to administrative buildings, released prisoners, seized official granaries, and executed corrupt officials and tyrannical landlords. Within 10 days, the entire empire was in turmoil, with emergency reports flooding into the capital from all directions. Panicked, Emperor Ling convened his ministers to discuss suppression tactics. He appointed He Jin, a relative of the imperial family, as Grand General and dispatched 3 large military forces led by Huang Fu Song, Zhu Jun, and Lu Ji to quell the rebellion. However, the Yellow Turban forces surged like an unrelenting tide, overwhelming the government troops. The situation became so dire that He Jin had to request the emperor to issue an emergency decree, allowing regional authorities and noble clans to recruit private armies to combat the rebels. This led to a chaotic power struggle, as local warlords and landlords took advantage of the crisis to expand their own territories, plunging the empire into deeper fragmentation. The Yellow Turban Army fought fiercely against the Han court and local warlords, resisting for 9 grueling months. At a critical moment, Zhong Jiao fell ill and died, dealing a severe blow to the rebellion. His brothers, Zhong Liang and Zhong Bao, continued to lead the fight but were ultimately killed in battle. Although the main rebel forces were defeated, remnants of the Yellow Turban Army continued guerrilla warfare for another 20 years. The uprising delivered a devastating blow to the already decaying Eastern Han dynasty, leaving it on the brink of collapse.